Hello and welcome to Your Questions Answered. Events in Syria have moved with such speed over the weekend, culminating in the fall of the 50-year-old Assad family regime. People are still trying to catch up with what's happened. There are many emotions swirling around at the moment, but also a huge amount of concern and even fear for what happens next, not just in Syria, but in the region and the wider world, of course. So to answer some of your questions on this, we are joined by our Middle East correspondent, Lina Sinjab, who is in Damascus right now, our security correspondent, Frank Gardner, following events from London, and here with me in the studio, our diplomatic correspondent, Caroline Hawley, and Lina Shakuni, a senior journalist from the BBC World Service, who is also from Aleppo. So, Lina Sinjab, we'll start with you there in Damascus. We've been asked very simply, what is the situation there in Syria like at the moment?
Well, I can certainly talk about what I've seen here in Damascus today. You know, as the day started, it was slowly, waking up and picking up. But then, by midday, the city has been busy. Lots of people are out and about in the streets. The main square, Umayyad Square, is still a celebratory mood with some rebels, gathering around many civilians, shooting in the air, singing revolutionary songs. But elsewhere in the city as well, we've seen HTS fighters deployed to protect several government buildings, like I've seen them outside the central command of the Ba'ath Party, outside the military base of the air forces, and certainly as well in the main square in Damascus, Hayat Tahrir it's called, where central bank is located. I've managed to talk to the fighter there, and he said our main duty was to liberate the country from Assad. Now we need to protect its properties, because this belongs to all people. Speaking to ordinary people, bakeries are back opening. Some restaurants, some food shops are opening, and it seems that the people are regaining trust and slowly coming out and to practice their daily life.
And how are people feeling? Are they feeling nervous? I mean, obviously we saw the joy, didn't we? But how are they feeling generally now the sort of news is settling in?
I think, everyone have the question about, the stability, the safety. Are the rebels able to, provide this for the country? Are they going to provide the rule of law? Are they going to impose Islamic rule on people? I've had many people, outside Syria, asking about the situation. When should we come back? But even here inside Syria. But I have to say, so far, the situation looks to be under control. Of course, it's going to take time to prove that they're able to deliver. I've spoken to some of the Christian community here in Damascus in Bab Touma neighborhood, or it's called St. Thomas in the old city, and it seems that they had a meeting yesterday with a delegation from HTS, meeting with the priests and the Christian community to reassure them that no one is going to approach them, that they want their help in protecting the neighborhoods from thieves, from thugs, from mobs who are taking the opportunity of the situation and breaking into public areas. So there are signs of goodwill and good practices. There are signs of good messages happening. The test is really on the reality, how they're going to implement it, and how things are going to go smooth into having a state that is running, economy that is running, and most importantly, rule of law leading towards finding a new government to be in charge.
OK, we'll talk more about the HTS rebel group with Frank Gardner in just a moment, but I know we've only got you for a short time, Lina, so just one more question to you. People are asking about the prisoner releases. We've been hearing about there still being people perhaps detained underground, in cells underground, that people are trying to reach to free them. Who are the people who've been detained? And tell us about these prisoner releases.
Well, detention and, in prison cells or security apparatus detention center have been one of the tactics and practices by both the late President Hafez al-Assad and later President Bashar Al-Assad. And, there are plenty of prisons across Syria. But here in Damascus, that the rebels actually opened up and freed people. But here in Damascus, Saidnaya prison to the south of the country is one of the most notorious one. I remember, passing by, the prison, Saydnaya. Saydnaya is a resort area where people spend the summer in. No one would look to the right on driving in or to the left driving out because they feared the cameras, spotting people in Saydnaya. That's how people were afraid of this prison. It's on a hilltop and with many layers below it. So the rebels with families, with human rights activists and rescue operation broke through the prison, freed some people. But this is a very fortified prison. It was known for the prisoners of 1982 of the Muslim Brotherhood, but later during the days of the uprising against Bashar Al-Assad, many political prisoners or even just members of families of political prisoners have been held there, and there were executions in that prison. So the search is still ongoing. There are many hidden doors of this prison, hidden layers underground, so they're still searching for it.
Okay, thank you so much, Lina, for talking to us. Lina Sinjab for us live there in Damascus.